Oh, hey leaders, this week's message and big idea is God did a great job making me. Let's say it together as adults, as leaders. God did a great job making me. This week, we are going to be talking about identity. Now, this is something that I think actually gets more important to talk about the older we get, right? So in the episode, if you haven't been following along, Saints, it's an amazing series. I definitely recommend going back and watching it. We actually have our finale week next week, which I always have mixed feelings about. Of course, I'm excited, but it's always very sad to say goodbye to these characters that we've been living with for over a year. It's been crazy, but in the episodes, Peter came in and he was kind of a nobody, right? He was just kind of like wanting to be a saint, worked it as a stuffed bear at a video arcade, was one of those sign flippers, and just kind of was what the world would consider a nobody. However, through this process, Sylvie has had to learn that not only just recently she learned that he was a saint, so somebody that needs to be protected, but there is greatness inside of every person that needs to be protected. And so today we're going to talk about several Bible stories. We're not just going to focus on one. We're going to talk about how Noah was obedient. That was one of the characteristics that defined Noah's life. We're going to talk about how Moses was a super strong leader, how Josiah had big faith in a big God, and how Esther was brave to go before her king. Now, these are all amazing people in the Bible that we have really spent some time studying during the Saint series, and I am so thankful that we have been able to do that, because what a gift, right? This Saint series has been such a gift for our kids, for our church. Not only is it an engaging story, but it has taught our kids so much about their identity. I hope the rest of their lives, they walk forward and they realize that God did a great job making them. If they remember nothing else from this series, which they will, they're going to remember all of these amazing Bible people. But really, I hope that they can go forward and remember God did a great job making me. As they head into their teenage years and their identities can be really questioned, and then they can really think about, like, who really am I? When their peers start to speak things over them that may not be life-giving, they may not be the things we would like them to be spoken over, I hope they can remember God did a great job making me. God did a great job making me. So I want to encourage you though, what different things of your identity have you maybe believed that God didn't speak over your life? Now, Peter was one of Jesus's closest friends here on earth, and Peter was a fisherman, right? We all know that. Peter was a fisherman, and Jesus called him out of that and said, "Come follow me." So there are things in our lives that as adults, we've had a lot more time for our identities to be shaped than our children. So over time, we might have had things, jobs, or things people have said, or friends, or choices you've made, good and bad. They could not necessarily be bad choices, good choices too, that have shaped our identity, that sometimes we tend to try and hold on to and say, well, without this, I'm nothing. Or without this, this is who I am. When Jesus is actually calling us to leave that behind and say, that isn't who you are really. That might be what you do. That might be what family you're birthed into. That might be who you're friends with, but that's not who you are. Who you are is a child of me. That we are a child of God. That's truly who we are. So as Jesus called Peter out of the boat, he said, let me remind you of your new identity. This is your new calling. And so in John 21, it says, after breakfast, Jesus asked Simon Peter, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" "Yes, Lord," Peter replied. "You know I love you." "Then feed my lambs," Jesus told him. Jesus repeated the question, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" "Yes, Lord," Peter said. "Do you know I love you?" "Then take care of my sheep," Jesus said. The third time he asked, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter was hurt that Jesus asked a third time. He said, "Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you." Jesus said, "Then feed my sheep." This was a holy moment in Peter's life, a holy moment, and he knew that Peter was still holding on to the shame of denying him on the cross, but he was allowing him then to redeem that. Jesus leaves nothing undone. Jesus will redeem even the bad and the choices that we make so that we don't have to live in the shame of these choices. And he said, "Peter, I'm giving you now a chance to say that you love me 3 times," because he denied him 3 times. So I just want to read this over you in closing. In 2 Corinthians 5:17, it says, "This means that anyone who belongs to Christ has become a new person. The old has gone, the new life has begun." So as we accept Jesus into our life and allow him to take over, he begins a new thing in us. He births a new identity in us. And then we are a child of him, and that is who we are. That is our new identity. So even though people might have labeled you in the past and labeled you even good things like smart, funny, caring, whatever, those are not things that identify you. I encourage you this week to spend some time thinking, okay, Jesus, who is it that you have created me to be? What are the things that I want to hold on to in this season that I know that you've created me to do? So let's go give them heaven this week. Such an important message to give kids. If I could probably let kids walk away with anything from this, it would be this one. So go into this prayerfully. Let's come prayed up on Sunday, ready to go. Let's give them heaven with their t-shirts on. 9:15, Kids Auditorium. We'll see you Sunday.